These strategies are most specific to the Amazon sales channel. And if you aren't using these strategies for your natural personal care brand, you might be leaving hundreds of dollars or even more on the table every month.
Welcome to the Natural Personal Care Podcast, your guide to personal care branding success. Every week, we'll unlock the secrets of eco-friendly marketing and share strategies that work. Are you ready to grow your brand on Amazon and beyond? Let's dive in.
Hi, I'm Becky, your host, and today we are on the final step in the series I've been doing on your Amazon marketing success strategy. So in this last step, I'm going to share additional strategies to grow your Amazon sales for your natural personal care brand. Now, the earlier steps, for instance, I talked about gaining brand control of your listings and over maybe any unauthorized sellers on Amazon that you're dealing with. Then I really moved into discussing how to make your listings ready for ads, because if you skip that step, your ads won't be as effective and they'll cost you more and can hurt even your listings performance. Then I dug into Amazon ads, as that's just a great way to get scalable growth for your brand. Then I talked about Amazon attribution, as you make sure that you're tying in your external marketing efforts to the Amazon platform. So for most natural personal care, clean beauty brands, you'll also want to leverage gaining new subscribers that you've worked so hard to really get to place that first order, and also how to get them ordering from your brand again and again. In that last episode, that's where I also then talked about how to analyze and review your Amazon reporting data to see what's working, what needs to be improved. Okay, so that's kind of a quick overview. Make sure to check out any of those episodes that you missed, especially any of those that you think that you need more help on. So in this last step, these are some of the current strategies you can use. And really, I like to think of them as layering those in to your Amazon marketing and your overall marketing strategy. These strategies are most specific to the Amazon sales channel. And if you aren't using these strategies for your natural personal care brand, you might be leaving hundreds of dollars or even more on the table every month in potential sales on Amazon. One of the biggest things that most brands need more of are going to be product reviews. That's really social proofing. It will help you on and even off of Amazon. There are a few things that you can do if you have a, for instance, newer product, like enrolling it in Amazon's Vine program. But once you go over the number of reviews to even be eligible, you will no longer be able to use that, or you just won't even be eligible to begin with. So there are additional strategies that you can implement on that. And we like using review inserts, since requesting reviews is something that should be done for all of your orders on Amazon. Make sure you're already doing that. But not everyone checks their emails from Amazon, and even some have opted out of emails from Amazon. So they don't even end up seeing the request. So by including an insert, you can then request that they leave a review and share their experience. As simple as that. Now, unlike when you request reviews from your website, with Amazon, you do need to be careful with the language that you use. Make sure that there's not any incentives attached to this request. Make sure that you're not, telling them to leave a 5-star review or reach out. You have to be very careful with your language that you use for those review requests within your product inserts. You can also use things like QR codes to make it even easier for people to scan. And as always, make sure to check Amazon's current rules on product reviews, as over the last few years, they've removed reviews actually quite a bit that they believe not to be genuine reviews, and you could get in a lot of trouble for that. So that's just something to be aware of. But package inserts inside your packaging, requesting an honest review, that's going to be a great way to increase the likelihood that someone will leave reviews on your product listing. And also a quick little tip too, you can actually leverage your email list to leave reviews on Amazon. They don't have to have purchased from Amazon. It won't show up as a verified review, because those are like only reviews when people have bought the product on Amazon. But that could be another way you could get more reviews. Like I said, with the same thing with that, just be very careful, even though it's your own email list, be very careful that you don't attach any kind of incentive, that you don't use any kind of language that could get you in trouble with your seller account. So let's move on to another one, posts. This is another great way, especially if you have a lot of mobile shoppers. So remember when we talked about business reporting, within that, there is a breakdown of how many people are shopping on desktop, how many people are shopping on mobile. So with posts, think of them kind of like an Instagram post is what they look like to me. So they are only going to appear on people that are shopping on their phones. It's typically further down on a listing. And the cool thing is it might not even be your listing. It actually can be, typically it might be like your competitor's listing. So if they're scrolling, they still haven't decided, they're kind of on the fence. This could be an opportunity in real estate for your brand to appear, and it can lead them to clicking into product listings, learning about your brand. So that is a great way to get more eyes. Currently, it doesn't cost anything. That could change in the future. And recently, in 2024, Amazon did launch the ability to use video for posts, which is great, especially if you already have those assets, if you have some great video content that perhaps you've been testing on the ad side and they're working really well. Those could be something that you could use and leverage on your Amazon posts. Next, you should really make sure that you have a promotional calendar. Now, this might be good to use with your primary promotional calendar that you're using for your brand, for your website, or you can even have a standalone calendar that is just dedicated to Amazon. And I would recommend making sure that you have all the important dates as they relate to Amazon specific promotional days, because those are ones that you may not have on your radar for your brand promotional calendar, but for Amazon, this will be great to have. So think of things like Prime Day, Cyber Monday, Black Friday on Amazon, all these things that are specific. Any other kind of new promotional day that they think of. They always have ones, especially, you could even think of Earth Day. I don't think that's an Amazon specific, but if your brand is probably sustainable, things like that, natural, organic. So that would be something else as well. But just think about those kind of days as they relate also to Amazon specifically. And it's also best to, if you have all your available promotional types that you can use on Amazon with some requirements, it would be great to have like a legend to kind of have a quick snapshot of what each promotion is. So when I say promotion for Amazon, that could mean an Amazon promotion. That could mean a coupon on Amazon. That could mean a buy one, get a percentage off promotion. That could mean a brand tailored promotion. There's a lot of different types of promotions that you might be eligible for. So you want to have them all listed out. And then you can use that to build your promotional calendar referencing that and what you have available. Not all products are going to be available for all promotions all the time. So that is always good to make sure that you confirm if it's even eligible. So also note that some promotional days, like Prime Day, that's only released weeks before, but typically Amazon will let you know so that you can expect it coming, which is usually, for most years, there's only one year that there was an exception to that, but usually it's mid-July for Prime Day, and it's typically on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. So just make sure you kind of have a little bit of flexibility with that. You could know that it's coming months ahead, you just won't know the specific dates. So you would want to think through what type of promotions you would want to run. And then once you actually have those dates, you can then start setting things up. So next, another thing you could be doing to really grow your sales, thinking about creative testing. So this could be split testing that you do with your sponsored brand images used. This is also using something called experiments on Amazon to test out. You can test out things like the primary image. They always kind of change this, but you can also test out A+ content to see what does convert better. And typically Amazon will show you those results, and they might even show you before the time period. We usually like to test it for around 6 to 8 weeks, but you'll want to look at the data to see what actually converts better, because that's something that you could always and should always be testing out to make sure that your listings are converting at the best possible percentage, the highest possible for each of your products. Now, you could also be testing out videos. We really like testing out videos within sponsored brand ads to see which videos perform the best. Also, the videos, you can add more than one video on your listing. So typically now, a lot more than, 5 years ago for sure, or even 3 years ago, people used to not have videos on their listings. Now people have kind of caught on to that they need that. But the thing is you can actually test to see and look at the data to see what video does best, because you might need to change the order that your videos are showing after that image set. This is going to be especially helpful for people that are shopping on their phones, because that first video will pop up first. Most likely they'll be clicking on that, and if they don't watch the other ones, at least they'll watch the ones that have engaged people the most. So make sure to look at the data on that. So there's like different ways to test. Obviously now there's posts with videos, but that's, I already talked about that. There's a lot that you should be looking at to really kind of maximize the use of those assets, typically that you already have for your brand. And there are more ideas that I could share, but those hopefully should be enough ideas to kind of get you started today, what you could be doing to really build out those Amazon sales. So it's all about layering additional strategies, continuing to test more and more. And the reason I wanted to talk about this one last, and it doesn't go on earlier on, is because you really do have to get your foundational pieces correct on Amazon before you can really get accurate data for testing and things like that. So I hope that this was helpful. And as always, I want to now share with you an action step for today. So take a review of the list of strategies that I talked about with additional growth. And then I want you to choose one that you're currently not implementing at all. Now, if you are doing all of these strategies, then your action item would be to review what is working well. And for instance, if it involves promotions, you'll want to dig more into reviewing your profit overall on Amazon to make sure that you're not negatively impacting your bottom line and your profit by running promotions. So promotions can be great. They can work great. Your numbers have to make sense. This is where it's great because you are a consumable product. You typically will have repeat buyers that may even go from buying on Amazon to your website because they have a good experience with trying out your brand first on Amazon. So you do want to look at your numbers though, for instance, when you're thinking about strategies like promotions, because if it's great, then awesome. But if you're looking at your bottom line and your bottom line is shrinking or even going negative, that's obviously not sustainable long term. So make sure you're kind of digging more into, if you are doing all the strategies, to make sure that you're doing them the right way. And if you have any questions or maybe a problem that you're facing on Amazon or another platform for your natural personal care brand, you can send a quick email to contact@clickfluency.com. I'll also have that linked in the show notes. If you need more help on something that I've covered in the 7 steps, I'll also have a link if you need to book a call. That'll also be in the show notes as well. I hope that this was helpful and that you have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. I hope it brought you value you can use to grow your Amazon sales channel for your brand. What would really help me a ton, like you know how important product reviews are on Amazon? Would you take a quick minute and leave me a review on Apple Podcasts? Just scroll down until you see the write a review in purple, and then you can click the leave the rating and review there. That'll help me to know you're getting value from this and what future content you want to hear more of that would serve you best. Thank you so much.